Good morning, everyone. So we are there with the subject OC, and we are there on the chapter number 3, Entrepreneurship Development. In the last lecture, we have learned about what is in the entrepreneur, and we have saw the characteristics and we have saw the functions of entrepreneur. Now today we will going to learn actually the topic itself, that is entrepreneurship development. Okay, so what is meant by entrepreneurship and what are the features of entrepreneurship? Okay, now entrepreneurship क्या होता है? What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a purposeful activity. It is a purposeful means which is having an aim. Okay, so it is a purposeful activity of an individual or group of associated individuals. Okay, so an entrepreneur can be an individual person, or an entrepreneur can be a group of people, a group of individuals where they're having the same motive, same aim, undertaken to initiate, maintain, and aggrandize. Okay, so it is undertaken to initiate. Initiate means to start, maintain means to maintain the work which is going on, and aggrandize means to increase the profit by production and distribution of economic goods and services. Okay, so entrepreneurship a aimful activity. It is an activity which is having an aim, which can be started by an individual or group of individuals with the same motive. It is undertaken to start a business, to maintain a business, to increase the profit by production and distribution of economic goods and services. Okay, so I hope entrepreneurship is clear to everyone. The characteristics of entrepreneurship, one by one. So the very first characteristic is innovation. Entrepreneurship is kya hai? It is an innovations. Okay, so as you know, the customers change taste, or keeps on changing, okay, from time to time. So entrepreneurship basically focuses on the research and development so that a good can be produced which satisfies the customers. Okay, so what is this entrepreneurship? It introduces the combinations of various factors of productions in innovations. Okay, the introduction of new combinations of various factor of production is innovations. A new product arrives in the market, uses new production technology, discovers new source of supply of raw materials, and opens a new market for the specific product. Okay, because the customer's needs, the customer taste, it keeps on changing. So entrepreneurship also should change itself as per the satisfaction, as per the need what the customer want in order to satisfy the customers. That's why it is said innovation. Entrepreneurship kya hai? Ye innovation hai. What it does, it focuses on the needs on which what the customer wants. Okay, and as per that the production is done. That's why it is said entrepreneurship is an innovation. The second is economic activity. ये जो entrepreneurship activity होती है, it's an economic activity because on the one hand its aim is to satisfy the human wants. Okay, but on the other hand it also want to earn a good profit, okay, for its better livelihood. Okay, that's why it is said it is an economic activity. It is systematically planned activity as per the skills and knowledge of the entrepreneur. Okay, entrepreneur के skills और knowledge को use करके और activities को plan किया जाता है. Okay, in order to satisfy the human wants as well as to earn a good profit to for better livelihood. Okay, that's why I said economic activity. Free में social work नहीं करते हैं यहाँ पे. Economic activity which means कि यहाँ पे what it does, it is done for earning money. The next is organization building. Okay, now it is an activity where various factors of production have to be organized. Okay, so consequence factors of production है land, labor, money. Even the entrepreneur is the fourth factor of production. Okay, you might have learned in economics. What is this entrepreneur? It is a fourth factor of production. Okay, so इवन दो इट्स अ फोर्थ फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, जितने भी बाकी से फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन है वो उसकी जरूरत पड़ती है इन ऑर्डर टू सेट अप अ बिल्डिंग, एक बिजनेस को स्टार्टअप करने के लिए, राइट? सो व्हाट दिस एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डज, इट इज अ एक्टिविटी जहाँ पे सारे फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शंस को ऑर्गेनाइज करना पड़ता है, ओके? इसके अलावा द प्लेस यूटिलिटी, टाइम यूटिलिटी, फॉर्म यूटिलिटी एक्सेट्रा हैज टू बी कंसिडर्ड टू कलेक्ट देम अंडर वन रूफ फॉर न्यू प्रोडक्शंस, ओके? तो ये जितने भी यूटिलिटीज है इनको कंसीडर किया जाता है ताकि व्हाट इट डज, ताकि जो भी अदर फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन है उनको कंसीडर किया जा सके और उन सबको एक ही रूफ के अंदर लेकर आए ताकि अ न्यू प्रोडक्शन कैन बी डन, ओके? सो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बिल्डिंग is activity where all the factors of productions has to be organized, even the different utilities have to be considered to collect all of them under one roof for the production of a new product, okay? The next is creative activity. Now creative activity, actually creativity is a essential part of entrepreneurship, okay? So if I want to start a new business, okay, मुझे new business start करना है, then what सबसे पहली चीज क्या है, there should be a creativity, okay? Even if my production is having creative thing, if my product is having something creative, something new, okay, then only then customer will going to be attracted towards it and they will going to purchase it, okay? So creativity is very essential part of entrepreneurship. Creativity is very essential part of entrepreneurship, okay? Introducing creativity in producing something new is a big challenge for the entrepreneur, okay? Creativity is important, लेकिन एक बहुत बड़ा challenge होता है, this is a big challenge for the entrepreneur because every time to be creative it needs a very more research and it needs a more फोकस, ओके? सो क्रिएटिव एक्टिविटी कहा गया है, क्रिएटिविटी होना चाहिए एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में, कि उसको एसेंशियल पार्ट कहा गया है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का। नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन इज मैनेजरियल स्किल एंड लीडरशिप. Now, a person who wants to be a successful entrepreneur should have more passion of doing something new than just earning profit. If you want to be an entrepreneur, okay, if you want to be a person, business person, then what is needed, you should have more patience of doing something new. कुछ नया करने का पेशेंस होना चाहिए rather than earning profit. If you want to earn profit, then you are not an entrepreneur. फिर आपका फोकस क्या है, बेसिकली you're focusing only to earn profit, ठीक है? तो a person who wants to be a successful entrepreneur, एक successful entrepreneur कब बन सकता है, when he is having a passion of doing something new, okay? Now leadership and managerial skills, these are both skills are the most important factors for entrepreneurship, ठीक है? And other skills can be considered as secondary, ठीक है? तो primary skill है वो क्या है, leadership. An entrepreneur should always have a quality of leadership and managerial skills, how to manage the things, managerial skill होना चाहिए, okay? These are the two important factors for entrepreneurship. और इसके अलावा जो भी other factors हैं वो भी important है पर वो secondary level पे हैं, ठीक है? An entrepreneur must have the ability to lead and मैनेज, ओके? एक एंटरप्रेन्योर में एबिलिटी होना चाहिए कि वो क्या कर सकता है, वो लीड कर सकता है, जो भी काम है, जो भी बिजनेस को लीड कर सकता है और उसको प्रॉपर्ली मैनेज कर सकता है. तो दिस टू skills should be there if a person want to be an entrepreneur. The next one is skillful management. Now, the success of entrepreneurship is depends on the management of the organization. So, if there is a professional management, if there is a skilled managers, then the entrepreneurship definitely will going to be a successful activity. Okay, अगर management की बात करें, तो a management should always be a skilled management, a professional management, क्योंकि कोई भी business कब अच्छा work कर सकता है if there is a proper management. Okay, if there is if there is management which is not properly, which are not professionals, then that business might suffer many problems. Okay, so a skilled and a professional management is needed if entrepreneurship wants to become a successful activity. The next is risk bearing. Now, uncertainty, which is defined as a risk, ओके, विच कैनॉट बी इंश्योर्ड अगेंस्ट एंड इज इनकैलकुलेबल. ठीक है, रिस्क क्या है, कैलकुलेट नहीं कर सकते, कभी भी कोई भी रिस्क आ सकता है, इट इज अनसर्टेन. राइट नाउ एंटरप्रेन्योर इज एन एजेंट हु बाइज फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन at certain prices in order to combine them into a product to sell them at uncertain prices in future. Okay, so what entrepreneur does, it buys all the factors of production. ठीक है, एक प्राइस में वो जितने भी फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन उसको परचेज करता है, फिर उसको कंबाइन करके एक प्रोडक्ट बनाता है. प्रोडक्ट बनाने के बाद उसको एक अनसर्टेन प्राइस में मार्केट में बेचता है. ओके, सो दिस, ये जो है, दिस इज ऑल्सो अ रिस्क. ओके, ठीक है, whenever a new business is started by an entrepreneur, a new product is sold by a new entrepreneur, then that product might sell or it might not sell. Okay, so this is nothing but a risk. Okay, so that's why it is said entrepreneurship is a risk bearing activity. Okay, इसमें बहुत risk होता है. uh, Now the next one is gap filling function. Next is gap filling function. The most significant function, most important feature of entrepreneurship is gap filling. What it does, it is a entrepreneur's job. Entrepreneur का job है to fill the gap or make up the deficiencies which always exist in the knowledge about the production function. Okay, what entrepreneur does, उसको क्या job है, वो क्या करना चाहिए, it should fill the gap. ओके, और मेकअप द डेफिशिएंसीज, जो भी डेफिशिएंसीज है उसको मेकअप करना. ठीक है, विच ऑलवेज एग्जिस्ट, हमेशा एग्जिस्ट होता है. ठीक है, इन द नॉलेज. ओके, सो एज यू नो द नॉलेज शुड बी अपग्रेडेड. ठीक है, हमारे नॉलेज हमेशा हमें क्या करना चाहिए, वी शुड ऑलवेज इंक्रीज योर नॉलेज. ओके, सो it's very important that an entrepreneur should fill this gap of knowledge so that a new productions can be done, a creative production can be done in order to satisfy the needs of the customers. Okay, so gap filling function is a job of the entrepreneur. So these are the 8 features of entrepreneurship: innovation, economic activity, organization building, creative activity, मैनेजरल स्किल एंड लीडरशिप होना चाहिए, स्किलफुल मैनेजमेंट होना चाहिए, रिस्क लेना चाहिए, और द गैप शुड बी फिल्ड which always exists in the knowledge whenever the production functions takes place. So I hope these 8 features are clear to everyone. Okay, the next is the process. Okay, the process of entrepreneurship development. What is this process of entrepreneurship development? So there are two process. The first is training. First one is training, and the second one is entrepreneurship development programs. Now, one by one, we will see this two process. But so pehle hai training. So everyone knows what is training. What is training? Training is a scheme of instruction. ठीक है, it is a scheme of instruction जहाँ पे instruction दिया जाता है, which is planned, okay, which is planned systematically, consistently, okay, which is pervasive. ठीक है, बार बार होता है, and it is monitored to measure its effectiveness. ठीक है, तो training क्या है, a scheme of instruction जो properly plan किया जाता है, which is properly planned in a systematic way, okay, and it is consistent, बार बार होती है. ठीक है, it is pervasive and it should monitored to measure its effectiveness. Whatever training is given, it is effectively working or not. Okay, so that is meant by training. It is an integral input of managerial development. What it is an integral input of managerial development. Next, training broadens. What training does, it broadens the visions of entrepreneur. ठीक है, अब what does training does, it broadens the vision of entrepreneur by how it broadens, by providing them suitable opportunities for an interchange of experience within and outside an industry. Okay, so when you give a training, what does an entrepreneur, it experiences, okay, it is experiences not only within but also the outside of an industry. तो इंडस्ट्री के अंदर की बातें और इंडस्ट्री के बाहर की बात, ठीक है, ये दोनों चीजें ये एक्सपीरियंस करता है when the training is given to the entrepreneur. Next, it builds necessary skills of new entrepreneur. If the entrepreneur is new, अगर कोई नया entrepreneur है, so what it does, it builds the necessary skills. ओके जो स्किल्स की जरूरत है जो हमने अभी पढ़ा, ठीक है, तो वो सारे स्किल्स को ये क्या करता है, बिल्डअप करता है अगर कोई न्यू एंटरप्रेन्योर है तो. नेक्स्ट, इट इम्पार्ट्स नॉलेज ऑफ मार्केटिंग ऑफ गुड्स, प्रोडक्शन मेथड्स, कंज्यूमर एजुकेशन एक्सेट्रा. ठीक है, तो जो भी चीजें, जो भी इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें जैसे मार्केटिंग का नॉलेज, प्रोडक्शन कैसे करना है, प्रोडक्शन मेथड्स के बारे में, कंज्यूमर्स एजुकेशन, कंज्यूमर्स को किस तरह, उनको क्या सेटिस्फाई करता है, वो सब चीजें, ये सब चीजों का नॉलेज कब मिलता है एंटरप्रेन्योर को, इफ देयर इज अ प्रॉपर, if that proper training is given to an entrepreneur. Next one is, with the help of this training, what happens, it minimizes the excessive scrap if a proper training is given to an entrepreneur. तो सबसे पहला चीज क्या होता है, एक तो एक्सेसिव स्क्रैप जो होता है वो मिनिमाइज हो जाता है, कोई भी डिफेक्टिव आउटपुट्स होते हैं वो मिनिमाइज हो जाते हैं, और वेस्टेजेस कम होते हैं इन द प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस. बिकॉज इफ अ न्यू एंटरप्रेन्योर इज देयर, then it might take some time for a new entrepreneur to understand these things. Okay, तो जब उनको proper किया जाता है, when the training is given, okay, so what it does, it minimizes, it helps you entrepreneur to understand how the production process is going on. और एक बार production process समझ में आता है, then it minimizes the uh, uh, excessive staffs, or it minimizes the wastages. Next, it helps in improving overall efficiency of an entrepreneur. If proper training is given to an entrepreneur, then जो efficiency level होता है वो entrepreneur का improve होता है, if proper training is given to an entrepreneur. Next is, it helps entrepreneur to accept new technology, team spirit, standardization, reduce fatigue, minimizes industrial accidents, etc. Okay, so if an proper training is given to an entrepreneur, that it helps the entrepreneur कि जो भी new technologies है market में उसको वो accept करे, how the team spirit should be built, how the standardization should be built, okay, how to reduce the fatigue, okay, how to minimize the industrial accidents. All this information is an entrepreneur gets to know only if there is a proper training. And the last is methods of training. So there are different methods of training like lecture method, demonstration method, individual instructions, group instructions, meeting, conferences, seminars. So there are different methods of training which can be used, which can be adopted in order to train a entrepreneur. Okay, so if it is an employee, अगर कोई employee है या manager है या वो entrepreneur है, everyone needs a training. Training की जरूरत सबको पड़ती है, right? So this was the training related to the entrepreneur. किससे related था? Entrepreneur से. If an training is given, then the entrepreneur can broaden his vision. He can build a necessary skill which is required. Okay, he can impart its knowledge regarding to the marketing of goods, production methods, consumer educations. Training helps the entrepreneur to minimize the wastages in the production processes. It helps to develop into increase the efficiency of an entrepreneur. It helps the entrepreneur to accept the new technology, to understand the importance of team spirit, standardization, to reduce the fatigue, to minimizes the accidents. And this can be done by using different methods of training, that is a lecture method, demonstration method, meetings, conferences, etc. Okay, so I hope this training part is clear. This is the first process when we talk about entrepreneurship development. Entrepreneurship को develop करने के लिए जो पहला process है वो क्या है? Training, which should be provided to the entrepreneur in order to develop himself. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, now the second process is entrepreneurship development program. जो second process है वो क्या है? Entrepreneurship development programs. Now what is this programs? This programs are designed, ये program design किए जाते हैं to help a person. Okay, This program is designed to help a person in strengthening his entrepreneurial motive, okay, and in acquiring skills and capabilities which is necessary for playing his entrepreneurial role efficiently. Okay, so this program is basically designed if an entrepreneur wants to achieve its motive, ठीक है, उसका जो भी एम है उसको अचीव करने के लिए, एज वेल एज फॉर एक्वायरिंग द स्किल्स एंड कैपेबिलिटीज, ओके, जो भी स्किल्स और कैपेबिलिटीज है उसको एक्वायर करने के लिए ताकि वो एक efficient entrepreneurial role play कर सके. Okay, so that's why these programs are been organized by the organizations. Now EDP इसका short form है EDP, that is Entrepreneurship Development Program. So EDP, what is this? It is a device through which people with latent entrepreneurial traits are identified, motivated to take up new industrial venture, trained in managing the unit and guided in all aspects of starting a venture. Okay, so ये जो डिवाइस है, ये जो प्रोग्राम है, ये एक तरह का डिवाइस है जो फाइंड आउट करता है कि द पर्सन इज हैविंग a person is having the quality of being an entrepreneur, where a person can is having a capability of starting a new industrial venture. Okay, then that person is properly trained. Okay, a proper guidance is given to that person so that an individual person can start a new venture. Okay, तो ये डिवाइस का, ये एडीपी का मोटिव ये है कि टू फाइंड आउट पर्सन को फाइंड आउट करो जो जिनमें कैपेबिलिटी लगती है कि वो न्यू इंडस्ट्री, न्यू वेंचर स्टार्ट कर सकता है, उनको ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करो, उनको गाइड करो ताकि वो नया बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर सके. Okay, so these programs are arranged for that. Now the first EDP was introduced in Gujarat. कहाँ पे हुआ था? गुजरात में हुआ था in 1970 में. Okay, and it was sponsored by Gujarat Industrial Investment Corporation. जो Entrepreneurship Development Program है, ये first कहाँ पे introduce हुआ था? गुजरात में introduce हुआ था. और कब introduce हुआ था? 1970 में. और उसको किसने sponsor किया था? By Gujarat Industrial Investment Corporations. Now, these ADPs are based on Maclan's experiments in कोकिनंदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश. और ये जो EDP है, ये एक एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था मैकलैन ने. कहाँ पे एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था? कोकिनंदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश. आंध्र प्रदेश में कोकिनंदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, वहां पे इसे एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था जहाँ पे बिजनेस मैन were provided with motivations and training. ठीक है, यहाँ पे businessman who wants to be a businessman or who are already a businessman, उनको motivate करने के लिए और एक training session रखा गया था. Okay, so this EDP is the result of that experiments which is done in Konikanda district of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, now two things are the EDP includes following steps. कौन से steps है जो EDP follow करता है? First is arrangement of infrastructure. Infrastructures को arrange करता है. Second, selection of potential entrepreneur. ठीक है, potential entrepreneur को select करता है. If this process, if a person or a group of person, if they think that person is having a potential, ठीक है, वो entrepreneur बन सकता है, तो उनको select किया जाता है. आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ एंटरप्राइज. ओके, कौन सा एंटरप्राइज वो स्टार्ट कर सकता है, ठीक है, उसको आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता है. ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम रखे जाते हैं, सिलेक्शन किया जाता है by this training, with the help of this training, and then selection of method of training. ठीक है, कौन सा मेथड ट्रेनिंग का यूज करेंगे, फिर एक्चुअल ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है, एंड देन मॉनिटर किया जाता है और फॉलो अप दिया जाता है. ठीक है, so these are the steps which is followed when in EDP, that is Entrepreneurship Development Program. Okay, so they arrange the infrastructure, they select the potential entrepreneur, they identify the business, they gives the actual training program, they selects the training personnel to whom the training should be given, they select the method of training, which method of training should be given, then they actually gives the training, and they monitors and gives a follow. Okay, so these are the steps is followed in EDP. Now next is what is the objective of this. ठीक है, EDP का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या होता है? The first is to foster entrepreneurial growth in the country. ठीक है, because if there is a more entrepreneur, which means there will be more entrepreneurship and there will be more enterprise. ठीक है, जितना ज्यादा enterprise होगा उतना ज्यादा opportunities मिलेगा, job opportunities बढ़ेगा, and ultimately it will going to help the organization to earn good income as well as the country to get a good economy, to get to develop its economy. That's a main objective. That's why this is EDP. Its main it's foster entrepreneurial growth in the country. Second, optimum use of available resources, whatever resources which is there. Okay, वो market वो है हमारे environment में resources है, but we don't know how to use it. Okay, because we don't know how to use it to the optimum level. Okay, so this resources can be used to the optimum level only when the proper program is set up in order to identify these resources. Next is development of backward regions and improving economic status of socially disadvantaged groups. Okay, then and so when we talk about backward regions, so there are n number of people who are having a good knowledge sense regarding how to do a business. Okay, or as well as in order to improve the economic status of socially disadvantaged groups. Okay, तो ऐसे groups जो society में है, ठीक है, and they are not getting the advantage of the work they are doing. Okay, उनको उनका कोई advantage नहीं मिल रहा है, तो उन लोगों के लिए this EDP programs plays a very important role. ठीक है, the next is generation of employment opportunities. As I said, if there will be more entrepreneur, then there will be more enterprise. Okay, और जितना ज्यादा enterprise और जितना ज्यादा business होगा तो जितनी ही opportunities भी बढ़ेगी. ठीक है, तो what this EDP does, it generates the employment opportunities. And the last, widening base for small and medium scale industries. Okay, जो small और medium scale industries है वो और अपने आप को develop कर सके, उसमें भी ये EDP एक important role play करता है. Right, so these are the objective of this EDP, that is Entrepreneurship Development Program, in order to foster the entrepreneurial growth in the country, to use the resources to the optimal level, to develop backward regions and the socially disadvantaged groups, to generate employment opportunities, and to give the scope of widening for small and medium scale industries. Okay, so I hope this all points are clear to you. Okay, anyone is having any doubt over here? Okay, so one more part is remaining in this chapter that we will going to continue in the next lecture. Okay, so I hope till now whatever is explained, that is what is in entrepreneurship and what are the features and the process, in that we have done the training part and EDP. Okay, so I hope everything is clear.